what is it that compels, people to pay attention to you, and what is it that you need to do to get people to pay attention to you, and not in this vain, narcissistic way, but in a way that can help you produce results, in a way that can help you get a job, help you get a career, help you get sales, help you get clients, help you get patients. I just want to talk a little bit about that. It's extremely important to understand the climate of the times that we're living in. This is just another medium. I'm just very grateful that I love it. I love it. I mean, I just love this because this is what I do. My students know I love sharing this. I love getting up close and personal. I love getting intimate through narrative and storytelling. I love connecting in my class and making it parallel to the real world. I mean, I just absolutely adore that. And, but even if you don't, even if you're not one of these people, the climate of the times, this is just another medium for getting your story out there, which is so instrumental, so important. Getting your story out there and making sure that, you've created something that people can find, access, discover, and learn about you, and not where you have control over what they learn about you. Does that make sense? Because there's going to be all sorts of things that are out there about you. There's going to be all sorts of information and data and metrics and analytics and profiles and descriptions and comments out there about you, right? But what a beautiful asset where you have control. You're literally like your own media organization, which this is the new media. Do not question this. This is it. This is the new media, and this is, I think, going to become the mainstream media. I think that most people are discovering that through Twitter, through Facebook, through all of these social media sites, and just the vast kind of, sea of alternative media out there. People are getting their information, people are getting their data from these forms of media, citizen journalists, which I kind of wrote a blog about. It's just, it's unbelievable, and it gives you control over how you're being perceived. It gives you control. I mean, there's always going to be comments, there's always going to be something, but if you can balance that out with actual kind of authentic content coming from you, people can learn more about you directly from you through controlled media, through controlled distribution. So even if you're not one of these people who feels comfortable doing this, this is the last thing I want to do. I think it's really interesting to kind of differentiate yourself and give yourself a platform and give people a reason to pay attention to you, okay? There is an audience for everybody. You need to discover what it is that you bring to the table, and there will be an audience there for you, and you nurture that relationship, you nurture that community, just like you would water a plant, and it will grow. It will grow into a vast forest. I mean, I'm sure of it. It's just the proof is in the pudding. You see all these people, some of these, influencers, and some of these YouTubers, and some of these broadcasters and social media influencers. They've got millions and millions of people following them. Who are you, and why should they pay attention to you? If we learned anything from the election, Hillary Clinton was vastly, unbelievably more qualified than Donald Trump to run the presidency and win the White House. I mean, on paper, right? I mean, she had the Ivy League degree. She had all the experience. She's been in the White House for 8 years. She was Secretary of State. Her credentials were, however, she couldn't connect. She couldn't connect to the people. She could not warm herself up to the public. Her husband was amazing at that. And I think you see that reflected in his campaign in the 90s. Even his ability to work with, a Newt Gingrich run House, back in the 90s, which was a bipartisan, legislator. Like him or not, he really did an amazing job. I mean, of giving a vast majority of people who felt like they were invisible, who were sick and tired of what was happening in Washington, a voice, right? barring all the indefensible things that he said, and barring all the kind of sort of atrocities and toxicities that came out of his mouth, you've got an individual who said, I hear you, I feel you, and I'm here for you, and I'm hearing you. So it's a really interesting mindset shift. You've got to give people a reason to pay attention to you. You can't just get up here and just vomit, right? You have to get, you have to think of yourself as a service provider. You have to think of, what can I offer my public, my audience, my customers, my clients, right? My patients, whatever they are. What can I do to service them? And how can I help? And what problem can I solve? Really, what I'm hoping to solve is people's, problems with the writing process, and people's problem with crafting their purpose and getting to know their audience and producing results through their purpose, by reaching their audience. That's what my course is all about. And I hope that it can inspire other people to do, it's a mindset. That's what it is. It's a mindset, maybe even a mindset shift. It may seem like a broken record. It may seem like something you already know. I just don't know how many people know this, and I'm trying to bring that awareness into the foreground of their thoughts. A lot of people, I think, wonder why they're not achieving the kind of results they're achieving. A lot of people wonder why they're not getting the sales, why they're not getting the kind of community, why they're not gaining a tribe, so to speak. And they're sitting there dumbfounded and flummoxed, wondering, what am I doing wrong? All the data, all the numbers, right? They all point in this direction. What's happening here? I got the degree. I'm supposed to be good at this. I've got my expertise. I'm supposed to get this job. If you don't connect, if you don't give people a reason to pay attention to you, it just doesn't matter. It's not gonna have the type of result that you want. You need to give them a reason to pay attention to you. There's plenty of people out there who have the credentials, who have the data, who on paper, are exceedingly qualified, glaringly overqualified, right? I mean, really on paper, you are just, you're absolute gold. But doesn't matter how much gold you have in your pocket, you've got to produce that gold in a sense of attraction and attracting your audience and giving them a reason to pay attention to you. I just am very, very pumped about this medium. I'm very excited about this era that we're living in. I mean, I tell my students all the time, if I was 22, 21, 19, 26, and I wasn't married with kids, I would be just killing it, absolutely crushing it on this medium, and probably retiring by the time I was 30. I mean, I would go all in on this medium and really try to discover what it is that I love and try to package that love, package that passion in a way that's attractive to an audience that can actually produce results. Game over. Game over. And it has to be authentic. You can't be slick, okay? You can't be an a-hole. A-holes don't last in this business, okay? A-holes don't last. You got to be authentic, okay? You got to be true to yourself. There's an audience for you. There is an audience for you if you're authentic, okay? And if you underestimate your audience and you undervalue your audience, it's going to eventually, it may not happen as soon as you may, kind of want it to or not want it to, but eventually your audience will be able to see right through you. So you have to, your audience is not stupid. I would find that the most dangerous recipe for engaging your community is to think that you can undervalue them and think that you know more than them. That is a dangerous recipe, and that will lead to, zero results, zero. And I don't want that for you, and I don't want that for me. So hopefully you got a lot out of this, and please, by all means, share this if you think it was valuable. It would really mean a lot to me. Make sure you like my Facebook page, @ProfessorNez. Go to my YouTube channel, @ProfessorNez, and you can see a lot of the videos that are similar to this. Have a wonderful weekend, guys. I'll talk to you very, very soon.